Thank you. Just me and Mohammed so far. Indeed. Hey guys. Audio here. Hold on, guys, I got one of our agents texting us here. Perfect. All right, welcome, guys. It's 2 minute past, so we'll get started. How's everybody doing today?
I think I just have the regular one.
Hello.
Hello. What's up, Betsy?
It is. Hello, everyone.
Hello. Wonderful work you've been doing on advanced markets.
Thank you.
Okay,
Well, and right back at you, Mr. Mark.
Thank you. Yeah,
That's
exciting
pretty
stuff.
exciting.
Turning in an annuity yesterday or the day before, and really learning to leverage these carriers, to fill the gaps of what I don't know, which are very large gaps.
Who did you write it with?
F&G.
Awesome.
So,
Awesome.
and they really do. I mean, the more I really embrace the idea of leaning in on the carriers for the education, I mean, we got incredible training throughout Symmetry, but they'll just sit there and do the illustration with you, for you, right? Hop on Zoom. Best way to learn while you're doing, earn while you learn, if you will.
That's it. Well, hey, I got to give a shout out. Can I do that?
I would love that. I was actually just going to go around and see. I know Dustin can't make it. He's at work right now, but yes, Betsy, please go.
Okay. Hey, I've got to give a shout out to Carrie. He has been dialing like crazy. He's been getting leads. He's been dialing. He's been running appointments. He's been calling me and asking questions. And Carrie, I saw your messages. Sorry, I've been in meetings all morning, but I'll get back with you. And yeah, just really, really, really proud of you, man. I'm super excited for you.
I'm proud of you too. I mean, it's way easier said than done, right? And Carrie, great job, man. I know that's not easy, especially the first 3 to 6 weeks, really developing that consistency and building those habits, as we're reading about in the book of the month. So if I wore a hat, I'd say hats off to you, Carrie, but I don't. So just awesome. Congratulations. Would you be willing to share with us, Carrie, what got you turning the corner on that? How do you feel about it? How far into it are you? And what are your overall goals with it?
He may be working right now too, so I don't know if he's able to.
Okay. Understood. I don't see him on mute, so I thought maybe, but maybe, yeah. I'm trying to think how that works. Okay, good. Carrie, awesome. Keep it up. Especially if you're working, right? More important that you just get that momentum going. So guys, I just wanted to go over some quick news and notes. I know, I was speaking to an agent yesterday and she was not aware that we have a calendar on band, and that's because we really have never made so much use of that calendar until recently. So I just want to encourage you guys to check that on your phone or desktop, throughout the day, throughout the week. It's listed as calendar or events, just depending on where you're looking at on the app. And those of you that are dialing or looking to really dive in and get consistent, because that is the key after all, right, guys? As I always say, it's all too easy to become a professional student here, especially if you let things percolate too much in the beginning. This is a baptism by fire business. It's a hit the ground running business. It's a make a lot of mistakes and lean on your team business. And association is key there. So to that, Jordan Gillum, one of our more generous leaders, has planned her dial teams ahead well in advance. So I want you guys to understand that you don't have to go that road alone. And listening to a pro while you're working can expedite your path on the dials. Stephen and I and our good friend, Councilman Paul Ensley, who's no longer with Symmetry, but such a great guy. He went another direction in his career. But we just leaned on each other, right? We were the analog version of that. But now that we're serving clients nationwide, we're working on Zoom, that opens up all kinds of possibilities. And great leaders like Jordan and agents on our team like Jeff Miller, Brian Howell, Joe Martinez, right? We've got agents throughout the Cook hierarchy that are still very active in the field and will lead the way with a bright torch for you, if you will, choose to take advantage of the generous time that they're offering, right? So please and thank you. Check that calendar and don't just think like, wow, that's neat. They're hosting a dial session. Get on it. If you've never, who here has never been on a dial session? I can't see. Angie, I know you've been on a good number of them. Morven, I know you're brand new, so probably not. Betsy, has Carrie been on a dial session? Has he had the opportunity?
I don't know. Carrie, have you been able to join one?
He's going to be silent. We're going to let him work silently. And
That's okay. Well, I know that his work, he has a, pretty unique work schedule. But when he's able to, he's on the phones, he's dialing, and he's rocking it out.
Love it. Love it. Well, I hope your metrics are proven out. If they are, you may not need the dial session. The dial sessions are great, A, for association and just being closer to the fire, if you will, and B, definitely for learning. You'll learn that, if all of us fell off a cliff and there was nothing but you and the client base, the scripts that Symmetry provides are golden. And if you do nothing but, rehearse those out loud a couple times a night, you will sound less and less robotic as time goes by, and you'll be sounding natural in no time. But you'll also note that certain leaders like Elijah, like Jordan, like Joe, Jeff, and Val, they all have developed their own styles. And they've done that through a lot of mistakes, a lot of, maybe even premature pioneering, right? We've all been guilty of that. But the fact is they made it through the hurdle, and we don't expect any new people or want any new people to have to do that at their own peril. So that's why tuning into these dial sessions is so important if you've never been on one and you really are serious about being consistent about investing in leads, dialing for appointments, and helping families, beginning with their initial requests, which may be mortgage protection or final expense. But then as Betsy and I and Mohammed's lighting a really bright way for us, Julian Tate is certainly no stranger to annuities and IULs. Really pay attention to some of that advanced market training so that you can pivot those appointments or appointment setting times into wins all day long. I guarantee you'll increase your success rate, your close ratio, your performance ratio by at least 30% if you're asking those good questions on every appointment and using cooknextsteps.com to your advantage. Yeah, you can. I'd love to hear what you're working on, Betsy. So I'm going to pivot to you in just a second. I know you're doing some, if you're ready to share. I know it's still.
Yeah, we can share some like preliminary stuff. I don't have like concrete things. Everything keeps getting pushed back. You know how it is in this world.
Of course.
But yeah, so I was hoping to have something concrete for this week. But we can kind of share a little bit and then hopefully next
teasers.
week.
All right, just some teasers.
Yep.
And in addition to Cook Next Steps, guys, that's just a really great passive way for any and all to take advantage of directing a client to that website, and setting up an appointment and dust your hands and wait for that commission. Because we've got some real pros servicing Cook Next Steps, including Mohammed, Betsy, Valzarn, and I think we got another person on your team starting to help out. Cheryl Nygaard. Thank you very
Cheryl is the
much.
real deal.
Oh, good, Cheryl. So are you doing DFL or IUL or both on there?
DFL.
Cheryl does
Fantastic.
amazing at DFL.
Yeah,
Mark.
I
She
love
is amazing.
DFL.
Mhm.
Love DFL.
Well, I know you do, and I know you're an expert at it. So that's awesome. I didn't know you were servicing Cook Next Step, so I'm remiss, but look
Yeah.
at that. You
Yeah.
guys you do not have to worry once you pass that torch. And guys, if anybody wants to be a part of Cook Next Steps, and I hope I'm not over stepping my bounds, Betsy, because you're the pioneer of that. But I'm sure as that thing continues to grow and the Cook hierarchy begins to expand, it would be useful to have some more experts in line. And to date, I don't think we have an annuity expert on there. So,
Mark, we didn't even plan this, but that's like part of what I was going to talk about. So that's
okay.
awesome.
Well, then
That's
before I overstep a point, I'm going to, I see Kerry coming back in. Maybe he's ready to share, and I understand if he's not, but let's see when he comes back. And let's table that for just a second.
Sure.
He's connecting to audio. Suspense is killing me.
Well, he's also got something really exciting going on, but I'd love for him to share. Otherwise, I'll edify him and
Okay.
set him up as well.
All right, let's see. Kerry, are you with us? Shoot, we can't hear you. If it's a technical difficulty, apologies. If it's not and you're just busy and you're listening in, that's fine too. But speak now or forever hold your peace. Betsy's going to speak for you.
Because Betsy can talk all day. We all know that.
So can Mark. We'll be here for hours. But I would like to, I'll make a note. Kerry, I would love to hear your feedback on, I love that you've made the commitment to become consistent, and he's gone in his business, and I want to hear from him next week. So tell me, Betsy, what were you going to say?
Well, yeah. So Kerry, he's just really committed to getting out there. He's been grabbing leads. He's been dialing them. And he's also put together a seminar, a lunch and learn in some office buildings in downtown Houston. And so that's going to be on April the 13th. And I'm going to be Zooming in. And so we're just going to, share about DFL, take advantage of that. And so he's doing the work, and he's also just, thinking of creative ways to engage in his community, which is awesome.
That's exciting. And I'm very thankful for, first of all, Cheryl, our permanent house guest. I love that you come to our meetings. Thank you for being a part of this. And Gary and Mohammed, I know Betsy's got a very booming, you're making some major momentum in team building and team growth. You're bringing a lot of new people on, and it's specifically in advanced markets. So Mohammed and Kerry, I'm just thankful that you guys, as part of Betsy's team, help make our meetings better, because these are obviously just smaller little kind of get-togethers once a week for some quick hits. But I hope you guys continue to get value out of these. And if you ever have a topic that you want covered, I try not to get too much into training or training concepts, or we have so much of that at Symmetry. Throughout the week, and even on the website and Summit, which I hope each and all have, and if not, partake in that. Because if you plan on, either being successful here and B, growing a business here and hiring agents eventually, you want to know what the company's up to, and you want to get a feel for what they're putting everybody through. So leaders, I recommend you get through Quility U and Summit just the same. But if you're new and you haven't done that, or you're new and you started, but kind of drifted off because it is at your own pace, set yourself a schedule, calendar those things, do a half hour a day, do a couple modules a day, whatever it takes to get through that and really take yourself to the next level. So before I would say what I was going to say, Betsy, how about a few teasers, and then let me know, you were going to say something about the annuity portion of Cook Next Steps.
Well, it was kind of all it's all kind of connected. So we are, what we've done with Cook Next Steps is, we took it from a very basic Cook DFL with only debt-free life. And then we kind of expanded it to Cook Next Steps. And so added in some IUL pieces, and, that's continued to grow. And just being very honest, what we've done has caught the eye of, Mike Resma at at Symmetry, some other people that are really involved in a lot of, that type of stuff at Symmetry. And so they've been asking me, like, hey, how do we do this? What's your results been? Also Scott Forehand, who's really big in debt-free life and other advanced markets. And so yeah, we've just been kind of doing some brainstorming and trying to figure out how we can make this more large scale, because a lot of the reasons that it's worked here within the Cook Group is because we have Chris Cook, our leader, and all of our AOs that are promoting it and are excited about it. And that's not necessarily the case in every single hierarchy, which just makes it one of the reasons that we've really been able to succeed here at the Cook Group. And also because on Band, everyone's excited about it, promoting it. So there's a lot of reasons that Cook Next Steps has been able to take off the way that it has. So we're trying to think, hey, now how can we scale that up? And so we kind of have done a few little practice ones here within Cook Next Steps where, okay, you hop into IUL or now even into DFL and you choose, hey, which hierarchy am I in? And then based on that, then you go to that person's calendar. And so we have different people that are on the calendar for IULs for the Newbauer Agency versus everyone outside of the Newbauer group. And then kind of same thing for DFL, hey, who's, and so like I can be for debt-free life, I'm still on both calendars, but my calendar is too full. So we need extra people. And so we have someone within the Newbauer hierarchy. And then Cheryl is helping everyone outside of the Newbauer hierarchy. If they book for debt-free life, then Cheryl's helping them there.
Wow, that's great.
So anyway, so kind of the discussions that we've been having is, there are more next steps other than just IULs and DFL. And so how can we start kind of growing this? And then people, some input I've got is, sometimes the agent doesn't know what they need, doesn't know if it needs to be an annuity or an IUL or a debt-free life. So is there some sort of questionnaire that we need to put in? And so we're just kind of building out all, these are just a lot of ideas that we're kind of, discussing, mulling around. So if you've got thoughts or you've got ideas on that, I would love to hear that, because you're, especially if you are one of the people that would be, referring, what would be the most helpful, so we're trying to build all that out, make it very user-friendly for the agent, very user-friendly for the client, very user-friendly for what we call the SME or subject matter expert. And then as we've been growing, there's like, oh, I didn't link this correctly, or I didn't do that. So we've had some hiccups along the way too, but that's okay. That's growing pains. And so thank you all for your patience in that. But we're really just trying to build out something that, is really of value to within the Cook Group. And then also, that can hopefully bring value to Symmetry as a whole.
I love that. Well, this is something we can obviously discuss, but, just looking at this group here, as far as the Newbauer Agency is concerned, Julian, if you wanna have a conversation with Betsy, I think you could be great as an annuity go-to for Cook Next Steps, if that's something that each of you are open to. Because to date, I haven't heard that we have anybody that's done that. And frankly, Julian, I believe you've done the most annuities in our agency. So again, just throwing that out there. If you guys want to connect off book, then please do so. Is that something you'd be willing to do, Julian?
Yeah, I mean, I will apologize for not knowing much about the Cook Next Steps. So maybe I know you and I are going to talk, and I'll just probably circle with Betsy offline and we'll dive into it.
Well, Betsy's always excited to talk about Cook Next Steps, so that you won't have any shortage of information there. No. But essentially, just so you know, Julian, it's essentially a referral program. So for the majority of our agents are working the flagship lines of business, which is mortgage protection, final expense, right? Investing in leads, dialing, setting appointments. But then if they just learn to use some of and you'll see Cook Next Steps, we'll go over it, but if they use some of the questions on the financial information form, they're doing a good job in the appointments, getting to know, what's available, then just asking that one question about, can I show you what this looks like? Or, are you happy with your portfolio right now? The basics. then they can just send the client directly to Cook Next Steps and schedule an appointment with an expert depending on their needs. And for instance, in this case, if it fell into the annuity category, it'd go right on your calendar. You would just see an appointment pop up, and you know that you're to meet with them about, exploring what an annuity may look like for them.
I have no problem with that. And Betsy can speak to, even though it's only been one time, I did have a client that I, had spoken with Betsy about, she kind of was, and I thought she would have been a perfect debt-free life candidate where I was still getting my arm wrapped around the tree, so to speak. So I have no problem talking to Betsy offline, and we'll happily do that.
Let's make it happen, man. Yeah. I think we've got each other's numbers, so let's connect and do that. I love it.
Yep. Cool.
Yeah, that'd be great. We could round that out pretty quickly.
Yeah, we had a corporate overview here in Knoxville yesterday, and so we had lunch afterwards with a couple, with the presenters, and so I was kind of sharing a little bit about this to Chris, and kind of what our vision was, even thinking moving forward, and he was really excited about it. So I'm going to be talking with him and Lauren sometime over the next, week.
Awesome. Good. And guys, I 1 second, Mohammed, because I am highly remiss here, if that's a term I can use, for not welcoming and introducing our newest agent, Morven Isadora. And I'm not being passive aggressive, Morven. The reason I didn't is your camera wasn't on and my brain didn't click. So it's only because I didn't see your face that I didn't jump right to introducing you. But I am thrilled to welcome Morven to our team. He came in through the meetings we have with William Steiner on the advanced market side, but very much wants to have access to anything and everything we do here at Symmetry. So Morven has just got his logins yesterday, and we're getting him appointed with all the core carriers for mortgage protection final expense and the advanced market carriers like Lafayette, National Life Group, our favorite F&G for IULs, and a lot of those others in the meantime. So Morven, welcome. Please introduce yourself. Tell us, a little bit about where you came from and what you plan to achieve here, what you'd like to achieve here, and let's get to know each other a little bit. Unless you're having the same technical difficulties that Carrie had. Can you hear us okay, Morven? All right, well, guys, I had the pleasure of meeting Morven on Zoom on our initial interview and meet and greet, and he's just a fantastic individual. I believe you're down in Florida, Morven, and is no stranger to insurance here. I believe he's licensed in multiple states, and you guys will see and hear more from Morven as we continue the meetings. Yeah, he must have had technical difficulties or just didn't want to hear anymore, right? No, he's good. So love having Morven on the team. Thank you so much. Mohammed, you had something to say.
Yeah, sorry, I can't talk too much because I had oral surgery done yesterday. So
Ouch.
I normally go out to small businesses, whether it's auto mechanics and tractor drivers, just trailer drivers and stuff, that I still want to have something that's like a marketing material, but it's just like a little flyer or something of that sort that we can, especially when you're talking to business owners, so something we can leave behind that's kind of tangible, because like you walk up to someone, you don't know them, for them to probably give you their ear as much, they're probably busy doing whatever it is they're doing. So if we can just introduce ourselves and leave them with something and follow up, we'll make, but something they can look at when we already left. So at least so when we go back, at least they have some sense of what it is that we can do for them. So if you're following up with them about a week later, because I normally do.
Oh shoot, you went silent, Mohammed. It's okay though. I get the gist, and I think whether it's by the way, Jessica's amazing, Betsy. She's Betsy's assistant Jessica is editing the IUL series that Jeff Sigworth did for us, and they are tight with really nice bumpers on the front and the back. So I do want to say that those materials will be up on our YouTube channel for training purposes. I think by end of day Friday. I mean, she works at lightning speed, so she's already. I'm a little high maintenance when it comes to creative, so I've probably been back and forth a couple times with her, but I think tomorrow it'll be all done. And Mohammed, to your point, I will make it a point, and I'll ask around first to make sure Symmetry doesn't already have something, but I can see value in something that maybe has your name, a little bit about you, and retirement savings, 401k alternative expert, right? And then maybe just a small paragraph about each of the things that we do: debt-free life, IUL. What do we do here? What am I talking about? Annuities. Thank you. And then maybe just a small comparison of 401k to some of these things and the advantages. There's Morvin. How's that sound, Mohammed?
I'm good. I'm sorry. I'm in the car. I'm driving, so I had to pull on the side of the road actually.
Oh no.
With you guys. So I think probably the next meet I'll be in a better position because this thing is gonna go off. Yeah.
Well, thanks for doing that. I see you are in sunny Florida, aren't you? It's beautiful there. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I heard you talking. I heard you doing.
Oh shoot! I have to stop you there, Morgan, because I want to be respectful of your time. I think the Wi-Fi is a little weak wherever you may be because you're a little frozen. But luckily, it's a good face. It's not one of those.
And I'm looking at the red light. You better stop. That's all.
There you go. Morgan, I can't wait. We do these every Thursday, so I'd love for you to introduce yourself to the team next week, or at any point, here if sound clicks back on. But we're just thrilled to have you, man. I'm excited to work with you. I think you saw, for some reason, all your emails were going to my spam initially. So I see that you've been corresponding with me the last 3 days, and I didn't even know it. So I'm glad we got that taken care of. And again, just a warm welcome to the team, man. And Mohammed, I agree. I think leave behinds in that case, in the home, leave behinds are usually excuses for them to not make a decision. But for these larger cases, I mean, we call them advanced markets for a reason. I can see value in them having something to at least be like, I remember the guy stopped by, a nice enough guy, and I know what he's talking about, but what was that again? So I'll maybe that's something we can all work together on, but I'll definitely spearhead it because I think if, just thinking basically, I think if we did, 401k alternatives and just talk about the highlights of each program, what debt-free life can accomplish, what deferred annuities can accomplish, and what IULs can accomplish with your name as a savings/retirement expert. What do you guys think about that? I want to keep it really general, high level, and just some teasers on each thing. On just a one sheet, right?
I love that. I think
Okay.
having some full options on there just kind of puts it all in, so you don't have to create as many, but just kind of like a point of, hey, this, we're a full advanced market service.
Right. I love that. And then there
Symmetry does have that, Mark. Symmetry does have that. I can't upload the document I'm trying to in the chat, but Mohammed, Symmetry does have that one sheet. It's a PDF. You can go create it's got all the content in here.
Yeah.
Maybe I can,
So I'm actually looking at it
maybe I
now.
can share the screen. What'd you say, Julian?
If you go to
I'll share screen.
on the Quility page, now I will say this to Mohammed. Now, before a year, even 2 years ago, none of this was here, right? So looking at the marketing tab on the Quility, they have some branding,
Right.
market collateral, and these are things that are up my alley. It's like what he's talking about has always been something that has been kind of top of mind for me. it's not, there's still room for improvement though, but under the marketing tab and the quality page, if you go there, you'll see some collateral there. There's some branded collateral. Like it was never there, not even 2 years ago. I'd have to go to, I talked to Mark about it. I'd go to FedEx and have to get like the little logo and then give it to the FedEx person just to put on my car. You know? So they've come far, but there's some things here that actually is good. And what I'll tell you, actually, what you can do also, Mohammed, I think National Life Group has the best like branding materials. So, and they do the best job of kind of incorporating the whole suite of services that we could offer, whether it's an individual or business. But if you just take some of their stuff and just kind of say that you're contracted with them, I mean, if assuming that you are, you can just, you know, you can use that as a leave behind and attach your Symmetry card to that, because their collateral, and they'll send you that stuff, you know, I'm assuming your contract, they'll send you 30 of all of them for free. You know, I have at least 5 carriers that I've done that with, and their stuff, National Life Group stuff, their branding stuff is the best out of every of the carrier from my perspective.
So given that, Julian, if you don't mind sending me one of the all-encompassing leave behinds that they have, I'll look to, you know, reword it. Betsy and I will coordinate so she can add a debt-free life. One of the kids must be doing something hilarious. So that she can add a debt-free life paragraph, and then we'll brand it internally so that it's agnostic, carrier agnostic, and boom, we got our leave behind. So if you'll be willing to do that, Julian, that'd be awesome. Looks like we got Shelly and Jean. Welcome, Shelly and Jean. I hate to say we're actually just about wrapping up, but
I know, I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. Better late than never, as they say. Love having you on here. And in fact, you're the inspiration for one of the points that I wanted to make before we all sign off. And as long as I'm on that point, you know, Shelly and I had a great conversation earlier this morning, and I thought it was useful to mention again. But guys, we're talking about IULs, annuities, you know, carries, dialing leads, where there's trainings, there's meetings, right? All these possibilities can lead to paralysis by analysis, as they say, right? I always like to say professional student, but even further, paralysis by analysis is when you're just deer in the headlights. There's so many things I could do. What should I be doing? And what I love that, you know, Chris Cook does very well is he simplifies everything. He has a very, he's very adept at simplifying complex things to a point where you're like, why didn't I think of that, right? And one of the things he always talks about, and they brought it up on the national call last week, was focusing on the income producing activities, right? And a member of the Cook hierarchy, Elijah Carujo, what I love about what he does with his schedule is he schedules his free time first, right? So he does his prayer in the morning. He does a nature walk with Maggie every day, his fiance, no, his wife, and my wife. And also he golfs and has his hobbies, right? So he'll put those on his calendar first, and then he'll book his dial times, his appointment windows, the meetings that we've got throughout the week, his interviews, his recruiting time, right? And so going back to what Chris Cook says, and that's focus on your income producing activities first, what I would recommend everybody do is homework, because one thing that I feel a lot of people on our team could definitely use some help with is building consistency and developing habits. And that's a struggle for most of us in this industry. So it's not like we're the bad news bears or anything. That's throughout Symmetry as a whole, right? It's the toughest part of this business is establishing those habits and mapping out a plan of action, because many of us are used to, from kindergarten on, people telling us what to do and when to do it, right? And it's very exhilarating when you get to a point in life where you're like, hey, I don't have to listen to anybody. I'm in control of myself. I can work at Symmetry. I can set my own schedule. And then how many of us actually set a schedule, right? We just kind of maybe show up at a meeting and we definitely do our work, but maybe not in the most productive fashion. So in my own struggles and my own challenges and getting through my own obstacles, if you will, I've fallen forward enough times, and it really wasn't until about a year and a half ago, and much credit to Elijah and Chris Cook, that I started scheduling everything. And I'm just going to recommend that you guys take that very seriously if you haven't yet. I don't care if you're working just advanced markets or if you're working just mortgage protection or you want to do it all. One of the most important parts of our industry, let alone the great culture we have here at Symmetry, is plugging in. Guys, it's tough to work this business on an island, okay? So, and usually the worse off you are mentally or productive wise, or maybe you're unorganized, the more you want to withdraw, right? It's counterintuitive, because you're just like, whatever the psychology behind it is.
It's embarrassing. That's what it is, Mark.
It is. You're right.
Embarrassing.
And they say shame is the worst emotion that a human being can feel. There's not a worse emotion than shame or feeling shame. So when we're not performing, and guys, again, I'll just say, bless you, Betsy. I'll just say I've had my own many cases of imposter syndrome. As you go up the leadership ladder, it's very easy to get what's known as imposter syndrome, and that's, well, they say I'm an agency owner, but am I a good leader? Am I impacting people? Am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Well, I was in the field for 3 years and worked my butt off, but I'm not now. So do people, are they going to take my advice when it comes to being all kinds of these things float around in our head, right? And the easiest fix, truly, is just to get around everybody else. Because no matter what level you're at, everybody shares similar struggles at one point or another. And for me, I am part-time since day one. So please don't think I'm hypocritical when I say this, because it's difficult for me to make the opportunity to show up on as many huddles as I'd like to. But I also get around the group, locally here in Arizona. I plug into every single meeting I can, particularly the Monday morning and the Wednesday morning, and these meetings I will not miss. But the huddle ups, guys, you're on the best of the best of the best. I mean, Brian Howell did a bang up job this morning, from what I understand. And why wouldn't he? He does 30 to 40,000 on his own pen, with his eyes closed and one arm tied behind his back, because he understands that there really is no secret sauce. The secret sauce is putting in a ton of activity and be willing to make a lot of mistakes and parallel counseling with your upline all along. If you guys do that, you can't lose. Steve and I he's no longer with us, and sometimes it's like his name who shall not be mentioned, but I don't, that's not my philosophy. Wes Shepard was a great guy. He's with another agency now, but he was an excellent mentor. And if Steve and I didn't have the ability to call him or say, Wes, I have an appointment tonight at 7. I have no idea what I'm going to offer these people. That's okay. He said, just ask them the health questions, get through their finances, and text me or call me. Hey, Fred, Nancy, I have a pretty good idea what I'm doing here, but I always like to get a second set of eyes on this. So I'm going to call my field underwriter, Wes Shepard, and make sure I'm going down the right road for you, right? Just something simple like that. And I want you guys all to know I'm here for you. Steve's here for you. Betsy's here for you on the advanced market side. And we've got leaders throughout. I mean, there are a lot of people on our team, Brian Howell, Joe Martinez, Jeff Miller. They'll bend over backwards to help you if you ask. So first and foremost, guys, get around the fire more if you haven't or aren't. And don't let the fire be an excuse for not working on the flip side. Focus on those income producing activities, right? And calendar everything. And I promise you, put all that little mash together that I just talked about, and you will succeed well beyond your wildest dreams. And that's not hyperbole, because again, when I came here, I just needed some extra income. I was going to be out in 6 months and go back to my old ways. But the culture, set me on fire. The fact that I get to talk and be with my best friend, Steve Devine, like we were in the office every day together with a similar goal and similar struggles. That was super fun, and still is to this day, even though we live in separate states now, we don't get to see each other as much. But to go from struggling, and again, I always say putting bananas back at the grocery store, right? No lie, to we did $2 million last year in this agency, and already up to close to 700,000 submitted for the first quarter. So, you know, we're on track to almost double, more than double what we did last year. So guys, and if you asked on day one, how do you accomplish that? I have no clue. I have no clue, but it's just about keeping your head down and doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it and getting through the struggles. So if any of you guys need help with recruiting, we just did a LinkedIn video yesterday with Lauren Cook. It's up on Van. I wish there would have been a little more screen sharing, but the only thing missing there is setting up a personal LinkedIn page and then setting up a business page from that. So if you have any questions about recruiting, starting out with free recruiting, let me know. I can help you build your business. It really does make an impact in your overall, you know, confidence, positioning, and income. And that's what Symmetry was designed for initially, was because they realized most people don't want to be in the field for the rest of their lives, or at least have to rely on being in the field for the rest of their lives. Edward Pritchett still writes annuities, still helps people when he can, right? But he doesn't have to be in the field because he's got a large agency. So Gene and Shelly, I'm so thankful you guys came. I know it was right at the tail end here, but so lovely to see you guys. And I probably said quite enough for this week. Anybody have any questions before we disband and go forth? No? All right. Well, Betsy may have some pretty exciting stuff for us next week. Betsy and Julian, I encourage you guys to touch base on potentially having Julian be an annuity expert for the Newbauer Agency as a go-to. And Angie Arnett, I just want to congratulate her. She's booked for conference. She's booking her sister Amanda for conference. And guys, let's talk about it before Symmetry does, right? Let's get the hotel room booked. They do not require any kind of deposit. Just put your card down and get the hotel closest, the Hyatt closest to the venue. It's right there on the Quilty website. Click on register now and it's there. I do have an owner's pack. I will be getting more owner's packs. If you guys want a discount ticket, come to me. If you want to do it on your own, go to the site and do it, no problem. But I want to see everybody there and plan on bringing at least 10 people with you. And I don't say that tongue in cheek. At least 10 people with you will add $50,000 to your bottom line the following year. It's statistically proven. So really make an effort to not only get yourself registered and committed so that your mind's there, and now think about, wow, these Newbauer meetings are awesome. These Cook meetings are awesome. You know, this opportunity is awesome. Who can I show this to, right? Who can I share this with? And book a trip to Denver with them. It's one of the best cities in the country, right? So experience some of the scenery, the cuisine, and join us at conference and bring a friend or 10. And thank you guys. I'll see you next week. And if you have anything you want to, book offline, just hit me up via text and we'll get something on the calendar. Thank you guys. Take care.
Thanks.
Thank you.